I decided to do postgraduate study because I'd already done an undergraduate in mechanical engineering, and I wanted to further that and specialise just in materials engineering. Another reason for doing postgraduate study was to enable me to become a chartered engineer. I actually heard about Cranfield University because I'm quite local, because I'm just from Milton Keynes, but I've also heard because it's got a really good reputation, especially for the subjects that I'm interested in, such as engineering or materials. I chose advanced materials because I really wanted to do a master's in materials, and the particular courses that were in the degree really interested me, and I thought that's what was going to be useful for my career. So my time at Cranfield, I really enjoyed the actual lectures at Cranfield. There was a mixture of both practical activities in my group project and my individual project, and also the individual modules. The lecturers I had were always extremely enthusiastic about the projects, and I really enjoyed that part of it. Probably the highlight for me was meeting all the different people from the course. So we had a lot of international students, and I found that really enjoyable. And I've also now made a lot of friends that I can go and stay with in France and Iran or around the world. And then also, the lecturers, because they were so enthusiastic and keen on the subject, that really boosts your enjoyment of the subject. So my individual project was sponsored by a local company called Scott Barder, and they specialise in resin manufacture primarily. My actual project was looking at different resin types with carbon fibre. Normally you'd use an epoxy resin when you make a carbon fibre composite, and this project was to look at vinyl esters, urethane acrylates and polyester resins. I actually spent most of my time then at the company at Scott Barder, with then maybe once a week I'd spend time down at the university. Particular skills I learnt from my postgraduate course probably don't differ too much from my undergraduate course. Obviously there was the technical skills that I learnt, but then I built on the softer skills, so the team building, presentation skills, things like that. I'd say the main difference that postgraduate study differs from undergraduate study is that you're a lot more specialised in the subject that you want to go into, and also the students that are there really want to be there, so everyone is quite keen to get on and study. So the group projects, for example, everyone wants to work in it. You don't have the couple in the group that are only really there because they want to be at university, not to study, so everyone's got the same feelings about study, so I really enjoyed that. The thing I like most about Cranfield University is probably the quality of the teaching and also the high numbers of international students. I've really enjoyed speaking with all of them. And I also like all the high quality of the facilities that we have access to. Probably my strongest memories are working an awful lot. I spent a lot of time working here till late in the evening, but other than that, it's the friendships that I've made throughout my course and my group projects. The course more than met my expectations. I thoroughly enjoyed my time here, and I learned, as opposed to my undergraduate degree, comparing it with that, I felt I actually learnt about the topics I was being taught, rather than just being kind of taught them to pass the exam. I actually felt I came away with a really good understanding of all the modules. I'd highly recommend the course at Cranfield. I've had a brilliant time at the university, and it's definitely helped me with getting my job. So my job role now is I'm a body in white materials engineer at Jaguar Land Rover, and that's concerned with looking at all of the sheet metal on a vehicle before it's painted. So I look after items such as corrosion, making sure the right grades are chosen for a car, and then I also look at problems. So if we've got any fatigue issues, any corrosion problems in the field, things like that. So it's the whole body in white. I'd say definitely that the course helped me get the particular role I'm in. Although I probably still could have been employed by Jaguar Land Rover, I wouldn't have been able to be employed in the materials department, and that's really what I wanted to do, was to go on and work in materials. So without the course I wouldn't have been able to do that. So my key responsibilities, next year we've got a new baby Range Rover coming out, so I look after everything that is concerned with sheet metal on that, so all of that is my responsibility. I also look after particular items such as filiform corrosion. There's roles, such as I'm looking after problems that are coming up on one of our new models on the new XJ. So I've already been given quite a few key responsibilities. I've learnt many skills at Cranfield which have been useful in my role at Jaguar Land Rover. I'd probably say the main thing is people are always really impressed when you speak to them and they ask you where you've studied and you say Cranfield, and they always hold Cranfield in a high regard, and they expect you then to be quite knowledgeable about what you're going to be studying, so they've already got a good impression about you. And also the skills that I've learnt through the material degree courses, I use that on at least a weekly basis. My overall career aims would to become chartered as soon as possible and to eventually become a kind of technical leadership. So I very much like working with people, but I want to carry on working on the technical side of materials.